So hi guys, and today we're driving Class 70 from Larbert Sidings to Grangemouth Siding 14. It's a refinery in slight distance. You are waiting for a passage of HST Express train. It leaves after a signal changes. Alright, okay, that sounds fun. So we're currently waiting at a red signal in Larbert Sidings whilst we wait for this HST to pass. So we're driving 700015. We'll turn the lights on and we'll be ready to go. So, before we leave, I think we should check the train over and make sure everything's okay. So, we've got the tanks on. So, some nice green fuel tanks. A nice flammable sign just to make sure we know that it's a flammable load. So these are TEA tankers. So Grangemouth is the biggest oil refinery in Scotland because it is the only oil refinery in Scotland. So you get the oil workings Prestwick to Grangemouth, Dalston in Cumbria to Grangemouth, and Aberdeen Clay Hills to Grangemouth. Oh look, here's the HST coming we've been waiting for. Why? I wonder why there isn't a light on the back, because we've got the headlights on. There should be a little red flashy light so trains know that we're there in the dark. I wonder why that isn't there. Here's the HST. In the old East Coast livery before Richard Branson bought them in the stagecoach and turned it into Virgin East Coast. There we go, back loco 43318, I think. So here it is again, passing the cab of 70015. Just honking to make sure the horn's working, because no doubt we will need it on some point on this journey. So there you go, that'll be going into Larbert. So I'm just putting the train into forward. So for beginners, that's the button, the blue button in the middle of the horn. There's the HSC going. Okay, so now the HST's passed, we're gonna wait for the signal to go white, which means for beginners it's clear to proceed. So we'll just have to wait. So we'll release the brake for beginners, which is, so you know, it's the, out of the three silver ones, it's the one on the right hand side. So then we'll put up the red handle, which is the one on the left hand side, up gently because we're only in a 15 mile an hour and we don't want to exceed the limit. So Larbert is a junction. One line goes off to a Falkirk Gramercy and the other one goes off to can't remember. What's it called? Somewhere near Glasgow. So now we're nearly at 15. We'll just drop the speed down. So we're going via Falkirk Gramercy platform 1 and Grangemouth siding 14. So we'll just watch the speed because we do not want to exceed. On the right is a Network Rail Training Centre. Oh, I never noticed that. So it's 15 out the sidings, so none of the TEA tankers derail, because that would not be good. There'd be a massive explosion and everyone would die, and we do not want that. So for beginners, we are now, because we've just had a white, It'll most possibly be a red because there's a HST in front of us, and until that clears the next signal, it'll be red. Red means we will have to stop. If, however, it turns yellow, amber, for the people that know what I mean, that means that it's clear to go, but the next signal will be red. So that means red means danger, amber means you're alright, green means you're clear. Double amber, which is two ambers together, mean you're okay, then you'll have an amber, then you'll have a red. So you need to be careful. On the track is a little sensor in a minute, just in front of us now. When that goes, on the right hand side there's a big square with an exclamation mark in it. You need to press that, either by pressing it or pressing Q. There you go. That's called the AWS. That basically means there is a signal coming up that is amber or red. Or there's a speed restriction. Or speed change. So that's just to make you aware, basically. So now it's going again because there's a reduced to a 50 limit speed. 50 mile an hour speed limit. Just coming up. That yellow sign on the left hand side means it's going to be 50, but 50 isn't, not yet. So we're about to cross the lovely violet. Oh, we've had a sound problem. Okay, I don't know quite what's gone on here, but we'll carry on. So we're crossing over a viaduct, and we're just about to pass the ScotRail 170 in the old first ScotRail livery. Okay, I don't know what's quite happened with the sound, but I will try to fix it. So here's a big junction coming up. So we're turning left here to go to Grangemouth. Now it is becoming 50 mile an hour speed limit, as you can see, and the HST has gone the other way, so that's why it's red further along the line. So 50 mile an hour coming up, and then it goes into a 40. So you have got to be careful, because if you go too quick around this, you will derail. There's a wheel flanger squeaking. So we're just going to have to apply the brake a tiny bit so we don't exceed 40. There we go. So we're now at a 40 limit. So now we've got an amber signal coming up. So there's an AWS one for it. So after amber you get red. So we're just going to have to be a tiny bit careful not to go for a red. So we're just going to remember that it's amber. So at the next signal we don't go for it unless of course it's changed, it's now amber. So that is the line coming off the line we're on now and joining onto the line I was just on. So we're back up to 50 now, around the sharp bend, which is good. And we're approaching a station. So we're approaching the station called, when I can read the sign, if I can of course, Camelon. I think that's how you pronounce it, Camelon. So remembering that there was an amber, the next signal happens to be amber, so there's someone in front of us, so that's good. That means that we're good still to proceed on. AWS warning, press Q and it'll go off. If you, for beginners, if you leave the AWS on, the train will automatically apply its emergency brakes. So in a minute the track is going back up to 50, which is good. So just to note that you cannot start going 50 in this case until your last carriage or tanker, whatever it happens to be, is past the 50 sign. So like now, you see we're approaching the 50 sign. We can't go 50 yet until the last carriage is past it. So just remember that. Okay, we are now only just under a mile from Falkirk Gramercy. So we've got a signal coming up. So the last one was amber. So this one now is green, which is excellent. That means whichever was in our way is not in our way no longer, and the track is clear. So that's really good. So we won't get an AWS warning for that. We'll just carry on. So we're approaching the 60. So, seeing as we're nearly at 50, I have got to be careful with the speed, as I do not want to speed. As it's ScotRail 170 in Falkirk Gramercy platform 2. So I'm now at 60, but obviously I can't go 60 until the last tanker is past the sign. Okay, my last signal was green, so hopefully it'll still be green, but I think it might be amber. We'll just have to wait and see. So we're just approaching Falkirk Gramercy platform 1. And then there we have 170, 409, I think. So we're now after Falkirk Gramercy, climb up the bank with an AWS because there's an amber signal. So we're taking a left here along a single bit of track, so it's going to 25 miles an hour for this single bit of track. Just up ahead on the left. So we'll get over the single bit of track and then we'll be on the main line into Grangemouth. So we're now taking the left onto the Grangemouth branch line. Okay, we've had the sound problem again. I think I might know what it is. I think the camera, sorry, my recording device isn't picking up the end of each video. So, yeah, so this is a single track down to Grangemouth. It's single over this little bridge before going double again. So hopefully it should work again. Hopefully the sound will come back. There we are. So, the line is now double all the way to Grangemouth with a 25 limit ending in a minute. And then it'll go up to 40. So we're now approaching the 40-mile-an-hour limit. So, oh, there's a red light. Oh no, that's not for us. It's green for us. Yeah, green light for us into Grangemouth port. So Grangemouth doesn't just have an oil terminal. It's got a port, and it's basically a big industrial estate on the edge of the Firth of Forth. So if you don't know where we are driving from Larbert, which is quite near Stirling, to Grangemouth, which is quite near the Forth Road Bridge. Or the Forth Railway Bridge, both. So if you know where that is, that's where I am. In between Edinburgh and Glasgow, basically. So we've got to be careful on this hill because it's downhill and we've got lots of freight. It'll push us down, so we do not want to exceed 40. So we have got to be a tiny bit careful. So there it is, 700015 coming down into Grangemouth. So we have got to be very careful on the speed. Just applying the brakes ever so slightly when we reach near 40. So Grangemouth is on the Edinburgh to Glasgow DLC. I think it's about £15 from the theme store. It is good, it's a good route. I personally think it's probably my top 5 best routes, because I'm from well, no, I go to Edinburgh quite often, so I like being able to drive where I go so I can see it in real life as well as in simulation, so I can see how different it is or how similar it is. So there we have it, class 70. We'll give you a tone. Try and drive it. Give it a turn. Okay, we have a 66 coming out of Grangemouth. Freight line is 66. 60608. With the containers. So now daily they're running a Grangemouth to Daventry container train, run by DB Skank for an EWS, so that's going well. Right, we better get back in the cab and see what's going on once we seen this train go. There we go. See, that's got a flashy light on and ours hasn't. Weird. Okay. We're now approaching a 25. So we'll get slow right down to 25, so we're ready. So that's where we are, and that's where we're going to. So it's not that far, but I think it might take quite a long time. So on the left now, as we come into Grangemouth, this is the container terminal, and on the right it's just an industrial zone. I don't actually know what's there because obviously passengers aren't allowed in, but yeah, it's a big place, I know that. So there's the 25 coming up as we cross over onto the next track. Oh, we've got a couple of Freightliner 66s tucked in the container terminal. One on the container working and two on a light loco. Probably in the head shunt. Oh, they've got a little bus. So we got some single track coming up. Didn't realise we had that. That'll be fun. Suppose it'll be single into the port. There, through under the bridge. That's the container terminal. I might do a video on that later. But guys, yeah, you tell me what you want to see, whether it be what class, and I'll tell you whether I got it or not, and then I'll drive it on a scenario. And if there's any scenarios you want me to do, and I can do, then I will do them on video for you to watch. So, on the left is the oil terminal. It's a massive place. That's only half of it. Sorry, that's only the beginning of it, not half of it. That's way wrong. So we are on a 25 limit. Because the tankers are going over a crossover. So there it is, there's the oil terminal. So there's lots of these industrial buildings on the right. So we've now got a 40 limit because all the tankers are off the crossover. But we are going down to a 25 soon, so we're not going to exceed more than about 38. .35 to 38, because we do not want to speed. Oh no, I thought there was a level crossing there by that little orange, well I say little, the orange office block, but no. So I would love to go to Grangemouth and see it, but obviously it's not possible. But if you go on the Bowness and Kinnell Railway, from Bowness to Manuel, you can see Grangemouth relatively well. I just did it the other day and I thought it was really good, the railway. They've got lots of stocking in the yard. Actually, when we went, the train broke down. Well, it didn't break down. It was a fault with the track, so we didn't move for a hour and a half. And we happened to be by Grangemouth, so I got to look through the binoculars and see quite a lot of it. So that was good, and bad, I suppose. So we're coming up to the single track now, as we enter the terminal. Now Grangemouth is also a little town, so it's not just all dedicated to industrial. There is in fact a little town, which is good. So we're approaching the 25, so we just need to be careful on the speed now. As we come into Grangemouth Oil Terminal. Now the reason we are currently on the wrong track is because the track on the left goes to the different part of the oil terminal. But we don't want to go to that bit, so we have to go on the other line. If you want to do another scenario coming into Grangemouth, then I will. So there's the AWS for a amber light. So the line now becomes 3 lines, and we're going to go on the line off to the left goes off to a different part of Grangemouth. The line in the middle, which is our line, goes into our oil terminal. And the line on the other side, you'll see a bit later, it goes into what looks like a bit more of the oil terminal, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we're in a 25, possibly all the way now. So if we look on the map, we're there. See, that line goes off up there, and then we go up here. And all the points are set, so that's good. So we should be shortly arriving in Grangemouth, siding 14. So we're carrying empty tankers, so then they'll get filled up with oil or gas, depending on what is needed, and taken to possibly Dalston, because that's the terminal requires quite a lot of oil for the farmers in Cumbria. So if you want to see Dalston terminal, all you have to do is go on the Cumbria line, and it's about 2 miles south of Carlisle. South west of Carlisle, shall I say. So look, there is the terminal on the horizon. Absolutely vast thing. So see what I mean about the two trucks going off into what looks like another bit of the terminal. We're going off to the left on the single track. Now it's not a circle like at a power station, because I thought it was like that. The track we're going on is a dead end, and so is that track. And it quite quickly becomes single. So yeah, that's maybe half to get gas, half to get oil. I don't know. If you do know though, please comment. And if you do know what Grangemouth does and what's all the facilities there, I'd be interested to know. So please just drop a comment. So there's another container terminal on the left. Now I think this is where the boats drop off the containers, because we're about to go alongside and then over the River Avon. Oh, there's a guy in a level crossing, so we better, when we get a bit closer, give him a honk. There we go. So he knows we're coming. I don't know if he wants us to stop, but we're not stopping because we need to get there on time. Yeah, he's putting his hand out. I'm not stopping, so tough luck, mate. So that's a road crossing with no barriers, because that guy probably just manually does it. So there on the right is the River Avon, that little stretch of water, and that goes into the River Firth of Forth. So we're still in the 25 limit. You can see in a minute the pipes go over, up on like a pipe thingamabob. So we'll go under, sorry, not up and over. We'll go under them, so they're specially lifted for the railway. So that's cool. And we have got a road, so I don't quite understand how we're going to cross that. I presume there won't be barriers because we're in a freight terminal, and it'll just be manually done by guys standing in. Who knows? Right, we did have an amber signal, so we would expect that to be red, but the white means it's clear for either a siding or somewhere like that. So there's a guy at the level crossing, so we'll honk. There you can see the pipes going over the river and then round and over the railway and along the road. Probably off to where the boats come in. There's another class 70. So this sign says stop, and it's coming up to a 10 mile an hour. So we are going to stop, just to make it a tiny bit more realistic. Stop, whistle before proceeding. So we'll give it a honk, and then we'll be off. And that guy's ready to change points for us, even though they're already set. So that's kind of the guy. So once we've completely stopped, we'll give the guy a turn, and then we'll be off. So we'll release the brakes. Now are in a 10 mile an hour limit, because this is a place like a terminal or a yard. Yards are usually 15, but this is 10 because of all the point work, so that's pretty cool. It means it will take us a long time to get into the yard, or the terminal, shall I rather say, because it is a terminal, it is not a yard. But yeah, so we're going in on track 14. So there's another 70, probably waiting for me to go, and then it'll go off to somewhere. Maybe it'll go up to down to Prestwich or up to Aberdeen Clay Hills, who knows. So there is the terminal, absolutely vast. And there's our train coming into the terminal. So the terminal is not small, it is absolutely massive. I can just see the sea, well, I say the sea, the Firth of Forth, sort of the sea. So we don't want to crash into those tanks, so we'll go along this line. TA tanks, should I say. Oh, we're speeding, we're going 10.8 in a 10 zone. That's due to not concentrating. Class too busy looking at the 70 and the surroundings. You have got to be fully concentrating when you're driving a train. So we'll wait till the last tanker is in the yard. I think we'll probably stop by where there's that guy telling us to stop, and then the scenario will end, and we will have driven safely the Larbert to Grangemouth empty tanker train. Yeah, the orange guy is telling us to stop. And this time we are supposed to stop, so we will stop. Unlike the other orange guy, which was just doing it, I don't know why, for the fun of it. So the back of the train is just coming over the bridge, over the River Avon. So that'll be with us shortly. You would have thought the river would be called the River Grange, like Grangemouth. Because the River Avon's in Bristol, and that's why the port at the end of the Avon's called Avonmouth. But no, I looked on Google Maps and it is the River Avon. So we'll just apply the brakes, drop the accelerator, and then we'll apply the brakes. And we'll be at Grangemouth. So we'll line perfectly up with the orange guy, hopefully. Yeah, that's not going to be bad. There you go, squeeze the brakes applying. Then we'll have when we completely stop, we'll have a quick wait at Grangemouth. Turn the lights off. We'll have a quick wait at Grangemouth, and then the scenario will end. So, 70-0015 made it safely to Grangemouth. So guys, thank you for watching. Yeah, if you do want to see more of my videos, then Rowans Trains is the channel. And there's some, I post realistic as well as simulator. And yeah, so if you want to see one of the scenarios you want me to play, just leave a comment and I'm more than happy to play it if I've got the equipment. Well done, thank you for driving. Hey. So it's called Empty Tank Wagon to Refinery.